Hi, Laura here, telling you that you should check out Impolite Society this week on all of your podcast forums and also on YouTube because we are starting video podcasting on Monday. Our most recent episode, our newest video episode, is in regards to pedophiles. What really happens to pedophiles in prison? Look us up, Impolite Society, wherever you get your podcasts or YouTube.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Laura, and I'm Lafayette. It's another Friday. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you had yourself a wonderful week. And if you haven't, hopefully we make it better. Maybe people listen to goes, these people make my week worse, but I hate listening to them. Could be that. They could hate listen, which I'll take it. What if you had a million hate listeners? Why not? There's people out there that do that. They watch certain news channels and listen to certain podcasts because they want to hear what the enemy is saying, what the person they hate what their opinion is. So
hate listens are still listens.
Would you rather have more hate listeners than fans of the show?
No, of course I would rather have more fans. But if they said anything, I'd rather get a bunch of hate mail than nothing at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The hate listeners might actually interact with the show.
Yeah, I know.
Where the fans are like the people that, watch their favorite news station, just agree with everything. That's right. Everything you're saying is correct. No matter what you say, I love it.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
that's the eternal thing, right? About podcast is engagement. Can you get any goddamn engagement? I don't know what the solution to that is. It's just forever and ever. Hi, Julie.
No, I hate watch Star Wars. That's what I do. So there's a new Star Wars show, and I just hate watch it. I just put myself through it. Like, another one? Okay, I'll watch it.
Do you hate comment on it? Go to the internet. Go to Twitter.
It's good. Twitter is my main
Guilty
social
pleasure.
media where I hate everything. Yeah, it's just trash talk everything. But
I go to Reddit to trash talk things.
There's too much on Reddit, though. It's just too many forums, too many things to join. It's too much. And people on Reddit, you can write endlessly. So you're like, I don't want to read all your shit. Twitter just gives you 240 characters. I just want to read so much.
You're such a Cliff Notes guy. I'm like, I want the deets. I want all the details.
I like how you just said I'm the Cliff Notes guy, but then you use details in a shorter way. You are the worst. You're the Cliff Notes of words. Yes, you are. We should have a Cliff Notes version of the show. There's the regular show that comes out, and there's a 10-minute recap. They talked about this, and they said this one thing, and thanks for coming. That's
bye.
It. Bye. See you next week. That's what we should do. We should do Cliff Notes of other podcasts. Don't listen to that guy's 3-hour show. This is what he talked about. Here's a 5-minute recap. This is even better. But Star Wars. The new Star Wars show came out, The Acolyte, on Disney Plus. I think it's their 6th Star Wars show. If I can name them all. Boba Fett, Mandalorian,
yeah, those are the only two I know.
Andor.
Oh, Osaka,
so that's 4. Obi-Wan Kenobi, 5. And number 6, The Acolyte. There you go. So now we have 6. We have 6 shows so far. And The Acolyte, Carlos will tell you. Carlos sounds like he likes. I've only seen 1 episode. So Carlos probably seen 2, which has come out this week. But this one takes place way before all the Star Wars we know. So there's no Luke Skywalker, no Boba Fett, no Mandalorians, none of that stuff. That doesn't exist. It's way before that. So that's only upside. But Carlos, I guess we'll just jump into what your take is so far.
I like it. I like that guy from I don't even know his name. Squid Games, the lead actor. He's in it. He's surprisingly good. I thought I didn't think he spoke English. I thought it was Korean. Well, he's Korean, but I didn't think he spoke English. And he pulls it off well. I like it. I kind of like how there's no other Star Wars characters that we already know. I just like it's all new characters. Just curious where the story is going to go. I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes.
All right. Well, okay. Can you give us the premise of the show? So people.
No,
Oh, God damn it.
No.
You don't know what you don't know what you watched?
I just watched Star Wars. I saw lightsabers and Force and.
Another lame ass Star Wars fan that just wants the same shit.
No, I'm not a crazy Star Wars fan. I'm okay with what comes out, and it's better. It's much better so far than the entire series of Osaka. Ahsoka?
Osaka. No, it's
Osaka.
Osaka.
That's
Yeah.
what I always say, but don't
Whatever.
take my word for it. I have no idea.
Okay, so
First
rate
2 episodes so far are much better than the whole series.
then rate your Star Wars so far when it comes to Disney Plus. What's the number 6 on the list?
Give me them again. Probably
Oh,
should have wrote this down.
Pay attention what you should be doing. You're like half people listen to the show. They just turn it on, and they fall asleep, and they wake up. That's enough. Okay, I'm gonna give you the Boba Fett, Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
Andor,
Mm-hmm.
Osaka,
Mm-hmm.
The Acolyte,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm missing one.
Obi-Wan.
There we go. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Boba Fett is at the bottom.
All right, number 6, Boba Fett. Number 5,
Asuka.
Osaka. Number 4,
I'm gonna go with Kenobi. Okay, number 3, Andor,
okay, number 2,
Mandalorian. Oh wait, no, let's back up. Let's put Acolytes at number 2 because so far it's pretty good, and then Mandalorian at number 1.
so better than Andor, huh? People talk about Andor like it's like the best thing.
Andor is good. It's really good.
Yeah, act like 2 episodes in, better than that. Wow, that's
Yeah.
quick.
Well, the way the direction is going, and just the choreography and the acting, pretty good.
Is it the aspect of who's behind it all?
I really don't care.
I mean, that's the main plot.
Like in Andor, it was just slow. It was too slow, but it was still better than the other 3 before it that I mentioned. But this one, it's the pace. Its pacing is pretty good.
Okay, well there you go. Wow, excitement. It sounds like. Huh, damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, the enthusiasm level.
Can you hear it in my voice? The
Through
excitement in my
the
voice.
roof. And so you guys know who Kathleen Kennedy is? I think you guys know who that is, right?
Kathleen Kennedy,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's in charge of Star Wars.
Yes.
She came out last week and said the male toxicity of Star Wars fans has ruined the female characters in Star Wars. And then she says, I mean, 90% of the fans are male, but they should embrace the female characters. And I'm like, you keep giving us female leads now recently. It's all you're doing. And I think these male fans are like, we've had enough of this. You've had enough of it. We want no more. And then she also said the same thing about Marvel. She said Marvel has that problem now too, where they're trying to introduce female lead characters and the male audience they ain't having it. What do you guys think about that?
Well, that's who buys comic books. Men or women?
12-year-olds.
Boys, right? Boys, not girls.
But 12-year-olds ain't got money for theater tickets. What's going on there?
I don't know. I'm of 2 minds about it. Like, women have been watching and being a fan of things with males as male characters our whole lives. So, it doesn't seem like such an outrageous ask for men to also be interested in the opposite sex's, adventures and personality. But at the same time, entertainment is entertainment. You're trying to make money. So stop trying to further a social agenda. It is what it is. Like, either you're going to make the product that makes money or you're not. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to get people familiar and embrace female heroines, there's going to be a transition period where you're making shit that doesn't make money. But most importantly, you got to make it fucking good. And that's a little bit part of the missing piece of the puzzle.
Oh, wow. The singing part really sold it. Good job.
Puzzle.
There you go. A little Mary Poppins action. Carlos, what's your take on good old Kathleen Kennedy?
Well, she's trying to do that with Acolytes. She has a female lead, and then there's a lot of female characters. But to me, right now, I think the guy from Squid Game is kind of the lead. He's kind of the Master Jedi. And I mean, we saw what happened with the Marvels. Clearly, it didn't do well because all female cast, even a female villain. I don't know. I just don't think, like Laura said, stop trying to, push your own agenda. Just do what works. I mean, eventually something will pick up, something will catch, but until then, just do what works, man.
Yeah,
And
no,
don't
that's
bitch
true.
about it when it doesn't work. Like,
Oh yes,
Right. And
that's my
blame,
concept.
right. And blame, oh, the men didn't go watch movies. So they didn't because it's a female. Well, where were the females at? Where were all the women that want to go see your movie? Where are they at?
yeah, that's true too. I mean, what they still don't comprehend. This is pretty simple. Men are the core audience of these movies and these Star Wars franchise, blah, blah, blah. Women don't give a shit about your fantasy movies and your superheroes. It's very
Uh,
small. No. But it's a very small group of people, women that do.
not, I wouldn't say very small, but definitely smaller than
When
the
I say
male
small,
audience.
here's the thing: when a woman goes to see a movie such as a Star Wars or Marvel, okay, she's either going with family, she's dragging kids along, or the husband or the boyfriend, blah blah blah. She ain't
Not
going by
me.
herself.
Not
She ain't.
me. I went
She,
to go see Marvel movies by myself in the middle of the day because I
Need some
fucking love the
friends. You need some
original.
friends. Good
I
thing you
love
have
going to the
kids.
movies by myself. I love it.
Like I said,
Uh,
you're part of the minority. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna find women going to the theaters by themselves unless I would okay, if you put it into a certain you really narrow it down over 40, maybe single or no more kids. We don't
I
they
was
need some
under 40 at the time. Thank
loser.
you.
Just unbelievable. You
I haven't
so
even
need
turned 40
friends.
yet.
You should join a nudist colony, make some friends.
No thanks.
Okay, just want to make sure. Uh yeah, so I don't know, but it's funny they came out even as of yesterday saying the Marvels failed because the toxicity of men. I'm like,
No, they failed because they
what?
failed to make anything really, really good after Endgame.
It's true. They haven't
Yeah.
made anything, and they're not making them. They had a little bit of a serious tone to them, like the Captain Americans and
Oh
The
yeah.
Iron Mans, and
Oh
they don't
yeah.
have that now. Now they have
Yeah.
really silly, like Saturday morning cartoon feel to them,
I would agree.
where you're like watching this, going, "This is just these are for kids now. You made a movie for kids. That's what
Yeah.
you did, and
And I
kids are
mean,
not the audience."
and that no, I think that they are though. You know what I mean?
No,
Like it
no, no.
can make good money. You know, I think that they made a lot of money on toys and things like that. But I think they're
Oh
failing to
yeah, yeah,
realize how kids get into them is because their parents like them. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And a kid will go watch any superhero movie
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So don't have to make it for kids.
Yeah.
That's why
No,
Shazam
that's
2
right.
sucks so bad.
Yeah. Shazam 2 was really bad.
Because it's like they try to make it for kids. Like, why?
Who were the writers? I just want to know, like, what happened to the writers from Marvel? Like the what was it? The first like 3 phases, or like I've never studied the phase approach for Marvel, but like from freaking Iron Man up to Endgame. I mean, hero's journey of fucking Tony Stark is like, an an epic. And where did those writers go? I don't understand what happened. Where did they go?
Maybe
What
TV
happened?
writers, they make more money, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I got some good news for you though. Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America. That's the rumor.
Ah,
hmm
yes.
Marvel is going to make the Captain America story you've been wanting.
Is he
Final
naked?
mission.
The final mission where he got all the gems back or whatever, put him back. And now
Didn't
that
we already see that?
no, we didn't see it. We didn't remember we saw him leave and then he was an old man.
When he came back, he's an old
It's the
man.
in
Oh,
between.
how he puts
Exactly. How you put them all back.
Yes.
Yeah, and they said they're gonna do a series of that, and I thought that's good.
Wait, a series?
Yeah, it's gonna be a series. It's gonna be from Marvel Plus,
Oh.
to Disney Plus. Yeah,
Pretty much. You're not wrong. Marvel
yeah.
Plus.
Should
A
be called
TV series with
Star Plus,
Chris
or
Evans.
yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely interested. Don't get me wrong. I really, really, I know it's a lot to ask, but if
Oh
they
no,
could get
here we go.
the long hair and the beard back from, and not, well, it was Endgame, and then it was, what was the last one?
It was the one prior to Endgame. It was
What was it?
Infinity.
No,
War.
Infinity Wars was the last one.
Okay, then it was
It was
Endgame.
Endgame.
It was
If you
Endgame.
could get Chris
Yeah.
Evans's long, like
like yeah, I know what you mean.
collarbone, like
Yes.
chin length
And the
kind of
beard.
hair and the beard.
Yes, yeah. That's what you're going for. I don't think he's gonna have that because he didn't leave when he had that. So
no,
that's the thing.
I think they
So
need to just
that's right.
shoehorn
Yeah.
it in there's some
Oh, okay.
flashbacks, literally
You
anything.
just need it no matter what.
I do. I need it.
Okay.
I remember when this is literally my reaction when I saw that. We were like watching something and Austin's like, "Oh, the trailer for Endgame came out." I'm like, "Ooh, turn it on, turn it on." And when he got on screen, I literally gasped and like grabbed my husband's arm. Like the beard and the hair is just like it is all the things. It was a very visceral reaction.
That just sounds like you were horny. All right. Well,
Yeah, for Chris Evans.
okay. Just want to make
Bet
sure.
your sweet ass I am.
My sweet ass. All right. Well.
Bet Chris Evans is sweet ass I am.
Okay. So it's not
That's
mine. It's
America's
his.
ass.
That is America's ass. That's right. Good call. Well, yeah, there you go. So they're blaming us, the fans, or I should say they're blaming women? Are they blaming men? That's just who we blame here. Do we blame the women for not going or for men going that we don't want it? Which
But
one
I
is
love
it?
it how if men don't go see it, if it does poorly, they blame the men, but not just men. Toxic masculinity
It
is
is
the reason.
You're the
I'm
problem.
like, come on. Everybody's got, everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's got their choices. Choose not to go see it. I saw it. I thought it was fine, but I was probably the only one in the theater. You're welcome, Marvel.
Yeah, I didn't see it. But I mean, not in the theater. I mean, I didn't see it. It just didn't appeal to me. So people that know that saw it said that's crap. So thanks. Appreciate that. All right. So all right. Well, this weekend at the movies, you guys let me know if you're gonna see any of these. Are you ready? There's only two big movies coming out. Are you going to see Bad
No.
Boys Ride or Die? Bad Boys 4. Anybody? No.
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 No. Okay. How about the latest from M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong?
No.
The Watchers.
I don't think it's
No.
him though. Isn't that his daughter? She directed. That's the one with Dakota Fanning.
I think
is the
he's
main
just a
actress.
writer and producer. His daughter directed. I think you're right.
Right. Yep.
But still his
Nepo
movie,
baby.
though.
Hey,
Still his
Nepo
movie.
baby. Here's a shot at the
Yeah,
films.
well, guess what? If you had a chance to be a Nepo kid, you wouldn't say no. So
You defend these Nepo babies quite a lot.
I mean, because we'd be the same. We'd be no different. We'd be no
Fair.
different. If my dad was famous, whatever, and he'd be like, "Hey, you want to be on my album, or you want to be in my next movie? What time should I be there?" That's how. Well, did you schedule me in yet? I will be there. Do you need me to sing a cappella? Because I'm really good. So whatever you need, like, I don't see the problem. I mean, whatever. Take advantage, I guess. I mean, Will Smith's son, pretty good actor. Whatever, take advantage. Why not? I mean, I don't see the
Guess you're
problem.
entitled to your own opinion.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're acting
Keyword
like you wouldn't.
entitled.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't take the opportunity if, like, you had
No,
a
I
famous
agree.
relative or
I
something,
agree
and
with Lafayette.
he said,
yeah.
"Hey, man, I'm shooting this movie. You want to be in it? I got like 4 lines for you. I wrote." We'd be like, "No, I want to earn my parts." Like, "No, I'll be there." Where's the contract I signed? I get paid. All right, I'll be there. So that's
Yep, I
That's
agree.
I don't. Yeah, it's not. Anyway, The Watchers does look interesting. The Watchers does look, and Bad Boys actually looks better than the last one. But both will be streaming for sure. Both will be streamers. So there you go. There you go. All right. Okay, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, hello there. My name's Teddy. I'm here to tell you about a brand new show. It's a podcast with my best friend, Alan. Alan, say hello.
Man. Hi, everybody.
That's right. And our newest podcast is called Bestest Friends.
Oh, man.
That's right, because we're bestest friends.
Oh, yeah, man. Best friend,
And
man.
our show is going to be about everything.
Oh, man.
So you can tune in every single week where you find your podcast. Look up Bestest Friends, and you're going to find myself
that's
and
right.
Alan.
Oh, man, that's me, man.
That's right, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
The Bestest Friends podcast. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, my God. It's for all ages.
Oh,
I mean, everybody can listen to it, even your grandma. And she's a nice lady, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man, she's
But some
great,
people are like, oh, my grandma dead. Oh,
no.
no, it's too bad. But maybe you can, like, send a prayer to heaven that she can subscribe
Oh,
to
man.
our show.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be
oh,
fantastic.
that's not a bad idea, man. Like, Jesus, like, he can subscribe too, man. So that's a good idea.
That's right, Alan.
Oh, man, yeah.
So Bestest Friends podcast.
Best friend,
Please subscribe and listen. And that's all we got for you.
Oh,
so
man,
thank you
that's all-
again.
that's all we got, man.
And let's go back to whatever you're listening to. Hopefully it's pretty good,
Oh,
but it's
man,
not
yeah.
very as good as Bestest Friends.
No,
but it's
wait,
really,
man.
really
My best
good.
friend's going to be the best podcast ever, man.
That's right, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Best friend, man.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, man.
Bestest Friends podcast, wherever you find your podcasts. Listen today.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Laura, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, review, turn on notifications, tell your friends every Friday, new episodes of Nerds Talking, the podcast. And on YouTube under Nerds Talking, check it out. You can watch our reviews or listen to the whole entire show on YouTube. Also, quick shout out to a longtime listener since day one, Jose. Hey, how you doing? Good stuff.
Ew.
So there you go.
I'm sorry, Jose.
I know. I do apologize for anything he said that may offend you, but it's okay. Got your back. All right. Well, Laura recently signed up for a streaming service, and I know all about that because I have every single one. So
I
Laura
got
signed up for one.
you recommend that you scratch off your list. So
Okay. Wow. Whoa. Laura's rant is back. She has a lot to say. Laura,
okay,
go for it.
I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix. I have a Netflix subscription. It is the only monthly subscription service that I have. And my best friend loved the show for forever. And I tried to watch it once before. I couldn't get into it. And I was looking for something light. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start watching it. And I got into it. And I was enjoying it. And then I realized that it stops on Netflix at season 4, which I didn't realize. And so, and like it had ended on a cliffhanger. Like, I mean, how much of a cliffhanger can Brooklyn Nine-Nine have? But I mean, a cliffhanger nonetheless. And my husband was out, who's like my pirate, who gets me everything. And I'm like, fuck it. And I went right over to Peacock and signed up for 1 month so I could finish watching the series Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And, oh my God, Peacock is bad. Like, I think because Netflix is the only streaming service I have, like the comparison is just fucking night and day. There are so many commercials because, of course, I went with the cheapest one. But I have the cheapest one on Netflix too. I barely notice the commercials on Netflix. Like, it's like 2 an episode. They're like 10, 15 seconds. They go super fast. They're also commercials that are like pretty high end, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I don't mind watching them. And then I go over to Peacock, 4 ad breaks for every like 20-minute show. They're all for the dumbest fucking products. They're all, I mean, just like lowest common denominator shit. And I'm watching the same 5 commercials over and
Wait, give me
over
like
and
what?
over
What
again.
are they shoving down your throat here?
iPad.
Really?
The new
Okay.
iPad, which is actually the least offensive of all of them. Like, I've seen it a billion times, but it's the least like obtrusive because
Okay.
it's, it's an iPad commercial. It's like smooth lines and, all this
Yeah.
stuff. Capital One won't shut the fuck up, by
Okay.
the way. And I had your Venture card and it sucked. And I switched over to Sapphire. Geico, of course.
Okay. Yep.
Prescription medications for plaque psoriasis. I don't have plaque psoriasis. Why is this on here?
What if
And
one day you get plaque psoriasis? You're like, oh, remember that one commercial I
apparently
saw?
Ostestra, or I don't know. Whatever the fuck that is. And then continual ads for the product I've already signed up for, which is repeated ads for shows on Peacock, which are all reality TV bullshit I don't give a fuck about. Like, it was a violent, visceral reaction. Like, I watch streaming television, I watch premium TV, so I don't have to watch even an advertisement for reality television. I have no interest in reality television of any kind. I have no interest for your shitty Chicago PD, Chicago Med, whatever the fuck.
Everything Chicago. Everything.
Yeah, everything Chicago. Like, it's all the dumbest network shit, and I don't want to watch it. I find the whole fucking thing offensive. I canceled it immediately, and it's even impacting my ability to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know if the season did take a downturn or if I'm just have a lot of pent up anger about having to watch these commercials.
Netflix has the Fox version of the show. And then when it got canceled, it moved over to NBC.
Oh.
So that's why it's on Peacock for the rest.
Oh, and it's night and day.
Yes. I've heard that it kind of falls off. So
yeah. Okay. I'm glad to hear that it's not just me.
Mm-mm.
Because I was like, is did it get worse? Am I not into it? Or is it because of the Peacock? Well, good to know. Probably both.
Probably both, but it did get a little bit worse with the Peacock. Yeah, it's almost like the standards that Peacock people came and said, you can't do that joke, you can't be that funny, you can't do that kind of stuff. They're like, ugh,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're not Fox.
Yeah. I think you hit it. Plus all the fucking commercials. No desire to get rid of it. I think the only thing that they have advertised to me that I'm like, maybe was American Ninja Warrior. Used to watch the Japanese version when it was
Yeah, it was
on
good. Yep. It was on
G4.
G4 and Spike.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to watch it on there, and then I knew they did an American version. I've seen a few episodes, but I'm like, maybe I'll watch that one. But no, your TV shows are trash, and I am canceling it immediately. Well, I
Peacock
already canceled it, and I've already paid my
Peacock
$6.
exists for 3 reasons. Okay, reason number 1, The Office. People want to watch The Office.
Yeah.
Reason number 2, wrestling, because all the pay-per-views are on Peacock. And reason number 3, Premier League soccer. If you like Premier League soccer, you own Peacock. So those are the main reasons you own Peacock. Those 3. And they just got the NBA. So now they're gonna have the NBA on there. I think they have NHL on there. They have, So
it just continually makes me think about 30 Rock and all of the digs they made to NBC. They just constantly trash their network all the time, which always crack me the fuck up.
30
like,
Rock
we're owned
is
by the Scheinhart Wig Company.
But 30 Rock, is that on Peacock?
I don't know. I have it on.
I can't remember.
I think it's
on
personal collection. It was on Netflix for a while.
It might still be there though. It might still be on Netflix. And how
I
like
have all
Netflix.
of it. I don't have to watch it.
I think Friends is on. Is it either? I don't know if it's back on Peacock or Netflix paid a boatload for it. I can't remember. But they're trying to get their shows back essentially.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Like they're never gonna get
buy
Seinfeld
them and
back.
download them to your computer.
Yeah, but they'll never get. I don't think Netflix will ever let go of Seinfeld.
I don't think they should.
No. But there you go. So Peacock, Laura says no. Do not get Peacock.
No.
It's not worth it. I have Peacock for the reason of wrestling. I watch pay-per-views on there every so often. I watch the WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble.
Do you pay $6 a month, or how? I'm sure you don't do the ad.
It's $6.
You do these $6. $6 a month for something you watch every so often?
Like every other month. Where those things used to cost like $50,
Yeah.
Or now they cost $6 a month essentially. So. And I don't know.
All right.
If I had to rate all the, I think we've done this before, but Peacock's definitely the lowest on the totem pole, followed by Paramount Plus.
Don't have it.
And then Apple TV actually is above Hulu when it comes to original content. So I put Hulu number 4, because remember it's HBO Max. I put HBO number 3. I put Apple TV number 2. And then I put Netflix number 1. Apple TV quality wise their quality is ridiculous. They put
out some really great shows.
Oh, my bad. Amazon Prime. I'll probably put that like at 3 or 4. It's definitely above Paramount and Peacock. For sure.
We do have Amazon Prime, but only because we have a Prime subscription, right? Like
we
didn't subscribe to it for
it's automatic.
Subscribe, but
yeah.
I barely ever turn it on. I do occasionally. I think they have House on there, and I occasionally am like,
if you like Game of Thrones,
not
Game of Thrones, my mistake. If you like, what's the other one? Not Game of Thrones. The big movies. The
House of Dragon,
Lord of the Ring.
Tried to
if
watch
you like
it.
Lord of the Rings,
Did not like it.
I mean, but Amazon has The Boys, so this has some good stuff. But House of Dragons is coming back though. Oh boy, that first season
near
was
the
amazing.
bottom for me.
You're near the bottom for me. Sounds like a gay joke.
Do you have Peacock?
Yeah, I do.
Ugh.
Okay, what's worse, Peacock or Amazon Prime?
I find myself watching more stuff on Peacock than Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because Amazon doesn't have all the old stuff.
Nostalgia. Yeah,
that's right. They don't buy that stuff like everybody else does. It's either you like movies that they have or you like the original stuff, but there's no in between. There's no TV shows you can watch that they've purchased and all that jazz.
No time fillers. That's what we're all looking for, to be honest.
Exactly.
We're looking for time fillers.
That's right. I need American Dad as much as possible.
And what I hate about Prime is they'll show you stuff that you can watch, and when you click on it and you start watching, all of a sudden you subscribe to another channel. You subscribe to another service.
Oh, yeah, they try to
I
bounce you
hate
out to
that.
HBO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
the
so what
worst.
they'll let you only watch one episode, and then it's like you want to watch the rest, go to Showtime
No,
or
you
subscribe
click on
here.
it and then it signs you up right away.
Oh,
Like
you got
I
suckered.
recently in my car I listened to Amazon Music because I thought it was part of Prime. Turns out I've been paying $10 a month for the last year, not knowing it.
Oh, you know why that is? Because somehow you subscribe to Amazon Music Unlimited without, like you said, without knowing. If you don't do that, you don't get full albums. You get like 5 songs off an album, whatever. Or you only get like the whatever most popular. You don't get the whole album. And if you pay the $10 a month, you get everything and everything, like Spotify.
And
Anything
that is our PSA of Nerds Talking the podcast. Check your credit card statements.
oh, like Rocket. Rocket has a commercial where they like download this app. We'll tell you
You
everything
don't have to
subscribe
download an app.
You can do
Just
whatever you want.
look
Don't tell
at
people
your
what to do.
transactions.
I don't know if I'm yeah. Get an iPad. Laura knows all about that.
Is the iPad gonna do it for you?
I don't know. I'm trying to feed a commercial in between there.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. They have the worst commercials. Them and Paramount, because it's the same 5 commercials every time. It has a 2-minute like timer on the top. You're like, 2 minutes of this crap again.
It is. It's painful.
It's the same thing. And you're right. There's always a commercial for some type of Ozempic or whatever it is. Yeah,
no,
always.
this was the plaque psoriasis.
Black
And then
No, I
there
know
was
it
one
is.
for like nodules, like people like lifting their arms and there's like nasty
Like
shit
skin
underneath.
tags.
I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, this is gross. I don't want this.
Don't judge. Do not judge.
No, I'm not judging anybody for
You're so
having it. I
you're
don't want to
harsh.
see it.
What, you mean peacock or the skin boils?
Both.
Okay, okay, there we go. We finally came down to it.
And then
Yeah.
sometimes because I have like Crunchyroll and some of the other ones. But
Mm.
sometimes they will play Spanish commercials.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
I get that.
I'm not Spanish. Are they
What-
getting this from my name or what are they doing?
Who used to do that? Was it not Freevee? What's the other one?
Pluto? No, not
Pluto.
Pluto. Is it
Pluto
Pluto?
used to do that occasionally. I'd be like, oh, there's a Spanish commercial on.
I get that. I get that on Paramount.
For
All of a
some
sudden,
reason,
all the commercial on
Pluto-
Spanish. I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm not watching a telenovela, but
And it's interesting because Pluto, I guess it doesn't bother me because it's free. Like Pluto is free and there's tons of commercials. Tons.
You just
And they
watch the
are
regular network
generally the
TV.
same
Yeah.
5.
Yep,
But
yep.
because I think it's because it's free, I'm just like,
You
man,
don't care. Yep.
yeah. But because this $6 a month, my money is very precious to me. And I'm like, this is not worth it.
I mean,
I think I pay $60 for the year for Peacock.
that's about right because they have that $4.99 package. So you lock that. You got commercials, right? I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
And
what
it has
sucks?
sports on there as well. That's why I like it. That and Paramount have
yeah.
sports.
What sucks is you don't get the like if you like The Office, you don't get the extended episodes if you only pay the $5 a month. Who cares anyway? But like,
I'm not missing anything.
you're not missing anything. Yeah.
There's no plot
So-
points in there.
What? Ruined the whole thing. All right. Well, there we go. Let's go move on to a review of the week. As we all watched South Park, is it called The End of Obesity?
Yep.
The End of Obesity special or movie, as they like to label them. Paramount Plus, as the boys of South Park are back. Trey Parker, Matt Stone. This will never end. And they basically just do specials for Paramount at this point. They don't really even do their show anymore on Comedy Central. It's just specials on Paramount.
I think
So-
they're on HBO.
No, Paramount gets the specials.
course.
HBO gets the show.
Right.
Yeah. They got paid a lot of money for that shit. Oh my god, Paramount paid them
Good for them.
some ridiculous like $1 billion or some really crazy, some really outrageous.
Good for
anyway.
them. They're fucking nobodies.
I mean,
no Nepo babies there.
yeah. What do you think about that, huh? Anyway, all right. Well, Carlos, what do you think of South Park: The End of Obesity on Paramount Plus?
First thing I thought about was Laura. And
Yeah.
because of the compounding pharmacy plot throughout the whole thing, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Laura's
it's
gonna
true.
love this.
It's true. They rent. Ozempic goes out, so they have to go get all the different, pieces to
Ingredients
put it
and make it
together.
themselves.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Actually, if you want to know the lowdown on all this stuff, what they were actually doing, where you buy the powder and get the biostatic water and mix it yourself, that is a different kind of thing that's cheaper than what I'm doing. The peptides in powder form, they sell, you can buy them off the internet. You can buy them anywhere. But what they tell you, they stamp on it, is for animal researchers only. And so that's the even like lower tier, easier to get, but obviously you're doing your, like, they had their own fucking laboratory in the basement. That's so anyway, there's a difference between compounding pharmacies and that, but you know, it's a comedy. I don't expect them to get into the nuances.
Yeah. Carlos?
And I love Randy's the best. He thought everybody was into drugs, and he thought he was gonna go in and get some drugs at these parties, but it was just Ozempic or whatever they could get their hands on. They're all just sharing it, and that was great. And then the Lizzo, and then if you can't afford these drugs, then they'll prescribe you Lizzo. I thought that was so funny. Oh my God, that was so
Just
funny.
feel good about yourself. That's right.
Yeah, like when is it Stan's mom was prescribed Lizzo?
Yep.
Like, yeah, just don't
And
give a
then
fuck what
she
people
got
think.
diabetes,
No, that's right.
diabetes. And then she qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
she
she
qualified for
qualified.
Ozempic. Yeah. Yep.
But they had a
So,
point. I mean, Stan had a point where, I mean, that's the thing about South Park. There's always a point to their stories. And the point is, if you're rich, you can get this. If you're rich, you can be skinny. If you're rich, you can do whatever you want. But for people that need it, like when the doctors kept saying, when they had to work the system, the insurance system, the American
it goes
healthcare
through.
system,
Yeah.
it was, I mean, it's true. I mean, obesity is apparently a disease according to, American
Yeah.
Medical Association.
Yeah.
And that's not enough to get somebody to get their medicine paid for. So I thought that was, yeah, they have a point, and everything in there had a point. So it was a good show.
Well, that's the thing about South Park. Like you said, everything you're like, yep, that's social commentary, right? They have a damn good point right there. You know, they're like you said, the obesity, it's a disease. No, not to the medical health board. No, you're fat because you came fat. No, you can't just produce fat. Sorry, like so not for you. You better get diabetes. Diabetes. All right, Laura, what's your take on South Park, the end of obesity?
I agree with Carlos. I mean, the commentary, the American medical system is so fucked. Like, I don't know. I guess I was just blind to it when I was younger, or things have gotten substantially worse within the last 10, 15 years. I don't know. But it's really, really fucked. And it's impossible to get what you need. There are these national shortages, all that kind of stuff. I haven't watched South Park I honestly, I don't know the last time that I watched South
20 years,
Park.
maybe.
I think I've seen at least one episode in that time frame. It was not nearly as funny as I thought it would be. I did laugh. I laughed out loud only once, and it was when Randy was robbing the pharmacy with all of the Ozempic girls who were wearing their crop tops. And every time they stopped, they would like do a little hip pose. And then he goes to, "Are we gonna take the Oxycontin? No,
Yeah.
no."
He wanted the drugs.
And then he goes back to the door and turns around and is awkwardly like hip pose, and then left. That was the only part that made me laugh out loud. Otherwise, you just look and you see the parallels, because I liked it because they commented on the American medical system. They commented on the food industry, about how,
Nobody's eating sugar.
well, they engineer food to be as delicious as possible and shove it anywhere it can go and stick it with the most outrageous packaging to make people want it. I go to the grocery store with my kid and she's like, and I told her, "Charlotte, here's the secret. What you're looking at is marketing. Like, the foods that are really good for you, they don't need marketing. We go to the produce department. There's no flashy colors. There's no cartoon characters. There's no big letters. It just is what it is. Like, that's the food that you should be eating because, I mean, they've gamed the system. They've gamed the human brain, which is why we have such a obesity crisis here in the United States. Myself being a part of it, 100%.
That was a good part too, though. The whole sugar thing. I mean,
Yeah.
the cereal thing, where the
Yeah.
cereal board came together, all the mascots, all the and they're like, we need to stop this fucking Ozempic thing,
Yeah.
like right now. Like, how can we end it? Because people are eating less sugar and they're just taking this.
That it hasn't happened yet, but I think that it will. I think there are if insurance companies cover this drug the way that they should. And then there's a whole nother story there about Eli Lilly and Nordisk and about how they are upcharging this product in the United States. It's like something like 300% more expensive in the United States than it is in Europe. Like they fuck the system.
Well, it's most drugs, though. Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's not related to this one, but it not just related to this one. It's for all of them, but it's because this drug is so needed in the United States that makes it particularly egregious.
What's really crazy though is, what's the other drug for diabetes that people need to take?
Metformin.
What?
Metformin.
You mean the
Is that-
insulin?
Insulin, and they jack that thing up.
Oh yeah.
Woo, through the roof
Yeah.
for the same reason.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
all you
fucked
fatties
up.
need this.
Yeah.
All right, jack it up.
They're holding us fucking hostage, and it's really, really, really sad.
I mean, it'll never end. I mean, not the price gouging, but the cycle of obesity and diabetes and processed food, and it's never gonna end. But
I don't know that it will end. I think it might slow, especially with something like Ozempic, because honestly, what I was thinking as I watched it, like Cartman, he goes
Oh,
into the
yeah.
bathroom with his, what did he call it? The fried chicken and cereal bomb or whatever.
oh,
the cereal
yes.
bomb. Yeah.
Yes.
He went in there and he came out and he was like, I have 2 thighs left on the bottom and I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to eat it.
Didn't
And I
wanna
was
eat
like,
it.
I feel you, Cartman, because that was my experience. I
He
took
ate
this
everything else.
medication and I sat down, after 2 weeks, it takes time to build in your
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
But I sat down to eat lunch and I was just like, I don't need all this. I look at food and I'm like, oh, that looks good. Do you want some? No, thanks.
You're so rude.
It's
So rude
just
to food.
it's bizarre. And Cartman's like mind blownness was what I identified with the most, of just like, whoa. And
Skinny
then,
Cartman was the best, though.
no, he was a fucking asshole. That whole thing. That's just South Park, right? But there was another thing. It was kind of buried a little bit deep. Was Kyle, right? Kyle was the one who was
Kyle's the one
advocating.
he's the one mixing everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle, at the end, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to blame willpower anymore. He said, because I had all the willpower to get what we needed. I had all the willpower, the can-do attitude to get the medicine that you needed, and it wouldn't happen. And so I don't blame you for quote lack of willpower anymore. Like, the system is gamed against you. That was a little bit buried, but I think it's a point worth making.
Well, it
that
was actually a
also
big
resonated
point.
with me.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's such a tough, even topic because, obesity, aka it's a disease, they say now. I mean, that's so hard for me to even wrap my mind around. A disease.
I know. And you have a hard time. Do you think of addiction as a disease? Like, do you think that certain people are predispositions to alcoholism, to drug addiction, to any of those things?
I don't. I think it always has to do with your environment and how you're raised and who's around you.
You don't think it has anything to do with like genetics or epigenetics and things like that?
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so. I think it has to
at
do
least
with,
you're consistent,
Yeah,
because my whole thing is that people who are like, you're just fat and lazy, you don't have any fucking willpower, you're such a fucking piece of shit, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, are you saying this to people who they're saying this to people who take this drug. Like, oh my God, you're so lazy. You're taking treatment for a problem. Oh my God, you're such an asshole. Do they say this to, people who go to rehab? Are they like, oh God, you're such a fucking asshole, such a lazy dick. You need to go to treatment for your alcoholism. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's you have a problem, you're seeking help for your problem.
I think anything you can get for what you see as your problem, it's like it's almost like what you said about Kyle. Get it if you can get it. You might not. You're probably gonna get blocked if you try to get it the legal way, but
Yeah.
get it if you can get it. But
Yep.
is it? I don't know. Like I said, to me, obesity is not a disease. It's definitely a problem. It's not a disease. You
I think
know.
I understand where you're coming from, and I do understand the thought process behind it, because I think it comes from a lot of decades um of what we previously thought about it. But like new research within the past 10, 20 years, it's really, really interesting.
I think it has to do with two things. Number one has to do with processed foods. Number one,
Mhm.
and number two has to do with the economic scale of people's living situation.
That's
That's really what it
100%
comes down
true.
to.
I
'Cause if
mean,
you
those are
go,
factors. I'm not going to
you,
say those are the only factors, but they're
but
definitely factors.
you go back again to the 50s and 60s, whatever. Obesity was not a problem because shit wasn't processed.
Hmm.
The middle class ruled the country. They all pretty much made even Steven money all around the country. It wasn't like there wasn't a huge gap between poor and middle class. And now it's huge and it creates a big problem. Why go? I mean, you're talking a person that's in stores all the time for his job, and you
Yeah.
just see carts and
Yeah.
carts of processed crap in people's
Hmm.
carts, and these kids that are 8 years old that already weigh more than I do.
I know.
And you're
It's
like,
really sad. The
and you look
kids
at
are
the
the
cart,
saddest part.
yeah, then you
And
see,
yeah.
and you see again, there's 7 2 liters and 10 boxes of cereal and waffles and candy, and you're like, that's what you're gonna feed not just your kids but yourself, like you're gonna like, and that's what I'm saying, that's what it comes down to, and it's because it's much easier to create processed food on the
And
cheap,
cheaper. Don't forget cheaper.
exactly, than creating something healthy for anybody. Not everybody can go to Whole Foods because it's fucking
Not even just
expensive.
Whole Foods. I mean, you should, like, that's what they always say. Like, shop the perimeter of the store. Shop the produce, the
Yeah,
meat, the
stay out of the frozen
dairy.
section essentially.
Frozen section, I feel like maybe is a little bit of a mixed bag, but like those center
Yeah,
aisles,
they get
fuck
you.
fuck those center aisles. They have
Oh yeah,
nothing you need,
no.
and but I mean, it takes time. It takes a lot of time to make a dinner for yourself or for your family. I do it every night, and it is exhausting.
Well, then don't eat. That solves
Uh,
your problem.
I wish.
Okay.
I wish, but I do it because I know it's important, and I
Oh,
want
you
to
mean
set my
eating?
kids,
Yeah, you want to be healthy. You want to
making
live.
food, healthy foods. Well,
Well, of
eating.
course.
Yes, I also like to eat. Making healthy meals for my children and sitting down with them and having an interaction, I know is very important. But some people don't have that time.
But I
It's a
think you're
very
right. I think
complicated
you
issue.
can buy, like Carlos's kid loves like those dino nuggets or whatever it is, right? But they're not horrible for your children, and they're easy to make, and they
Oh,
love them.
my kids eat chicken nuggets at
That's what I
least
mean.
four
Yeah.
times a week.
And you know what? You're better off getting them that crap than, getting a bunch of sugar or whatever other garbage there is. Like you said, you
Yeah,
can buy shit from the frozen aisle that's not going to ruin you.
yeah,
You can just fine. Not all
yeah,
processed stuff is bad.
yeah.
It's just there's the shit though that is basically like genetically created, like Lucky Charms aren't real, people. You can't grow them in a field. All right. So, so,
If only.
if only though, if only. Yeah,
I don't know. It was an interesting special. I was glad that I watched it. It wasn't hilarious. It made some good points. Like you said, like South Park always does.
Yeah, South Park has kind of moved into that realm though. If it's not as funny and outrageous as it used to be, it's just it hits the marks and it's humorous. You know
I
what I
feel like
mean?
it's been like that since it came out. Well, maybe not since it
No,
came
when it
out,
first
but
came out, it was
no, it
definitely
was
more
dumb.
outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But the
more
social commentary has been
has always
around
been
for a
there.
good long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the social commentary's always been there.
Yeah.
What they even used to do where at the end they'd always go, "What'd you learn, Stan?" And Stan would say what he learned at the end of episodes. Like, it kind of made a point of Stan kind of saying what he learned, or Kyle. Never Cartman because Cartman don't learn
I
shit.
think they'd be good guys to hang out with. They'd be pretty fun to hang out with.
Oh, okay. I mean, you mean Trey and Matt or
Yeah, not Cartman and Kyle.
okay. That's what I was thinking. Like, wait, who do you want to? I've actually met those guys. Nice
Really?
guys. Yeah. They used to come into the golf shop I worked at.
That's cool.
Just like 2 or 3 times, and they only did it because they didn't care for golf, but they were invited to like tournaments where they had to show up. They'd be like, "Oh, I gotta buy some stuff again, dude."
Charity tournaments, yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, here, just get this and this." Oh, thanks, bro. And then you tell them like, "Oh man, watch the show." Oh, thanks, man. And then that's it. Like, so, but what nice fellas. Carlos, anything else?
No, I got nothing.
All right, I like that. No, good job. All right, let's move on to our second review of the week. We don't even review that one. We all liked it though. So watch it on Paramount Plus if you can. South Park: The End of Obesity. We all watched this Netflix documentary, 3-part documentary called. Is it called Dancing with the Devil?
Yep.
Dancing with the Devil. It's about TikTok dancers, which I'm pretty sure you've all seen. Believe me, you have not seen these people on TikTok, Instagram, anywhere you see people dancing, especially in Hollywood, where they're dancing on Hollywood Boulevard, or they're dancing like palm trees in the background. There's like 3 of them or whatever. What you don't know is that they're all part of the same crew, and that crew is part of a church, and that church is a cult. Well, I don't know. We'll dive into that. Laura, what's your take on Dancing with the Devil on Netflix?
First, I'm just gonna review this as a documentary and like, it's quote cinematic merit. What the fuck, Netflix? I mean, this was so drawn out. It is pretty much there's an entire episode or half an episode of manufactured drama where they serve this guy papers. It's super short on details, very few actual accusations of wrongdoings, like and a lot of dramatic dancing sequences. Like
Oh, yeah.
this should have been a 45-minute special.
One
It would have
episode. Like 1 hour episode. Yeah.
not even an hour, like 45
Oh, yeah. It
minutes.
could have been one of those like 20, 45
Yeah,
minutes. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
And it would have been interesting. But then they drew it out for so fucking long. And I'm like, this is a fucking waste of time. That's on a cinematic merit. Skip it. I'm sure there's a 2020 episode about it
Oh,
somewhere.
for sure now, too. Somebody like Dateline already picked up what Netflix did and interviewed all these people again for 30
Precisely.
minutes.
Yeah. And that's the exact right amount. You do not need 3 hours of this shit or 2 hours or whatever it was. Way too much time. And then just from a social commentary, so many eye rolls. I mean, these fucking dumbass kids. You want to be rich and famous on TikTok. TikTok. You want to be rich and famous on TikTok?
Fresh
Yeah.
Brent men. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, these guys, they're just so fucking dumb. They're self-important. They're self-absorbed. And somebody figured out how to exploit them, to tell them exactly what they wanted to hear and
Pretty
give them
much.
exactly what they wanted.
Mhm.
And in the end, these are adults. They're not children. They're just fucking dumb. And there is no law against being fucking dumb. And
Or going to church.
or going to church. Exactly. And I mean, as a parent, I'm sure that this is difficult for them. I'm sure that it is heartbreaking. Your child cuts you out of your life. That's awful. That's awful. But this is the society we live in nowadays. Everyone's like, they're toxic. You need to get rid of them. And just no bearing on anybody else. I don't know. It's just, it was a big, long documentary about a bunch of dumb motherfuckers.
Whoa.
And stay away from social media, kids. That's my final lesson. Your
There you go.
brain, it's half baked. It can't handle being influenced by all these bad people on the internet. Just stay away. Stay away from social media. You're dumb. You can't handle it.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's
Okay.
rant number 2 from Laura.
That's what it sounds like. Carlos, Dancing with the Devil on Netflix.
I agree with Laura. I skipped the second episode. I didn't bother watching it.
I
The, f-
quit halfway through the third. I was
Second
like, I'm
episode
done.
was a waste of time.
the first episode dragged so long. And I don't know who was toxic. I think the parents were toxic. They were so bugging the shit out of me.
I think
You let your
everyone-
kid go to LA to become a famous dancer, and now you're all over her shit. They're like, how come you don't call us? How come it is? How come that? I'm like, leave her alone. Let her do her thing. And she's not doing anything wrong, and didn't seem like anything was happening to her. And they just would not let it go. They did whatever they could. They tried to get the cops involved, try to get the FBI involved, something about human trafficking, and I mean, and even the guy on the phone with when they were on the speakerphone with the other parents about human trafficking, I'm like, well, they're adults. There's nothing we can do. I mean, they're not children. Let them. Even the person on the phone sounded annoyed. I'm like, you people are stupid. And then and then she finally decides to reach back out to them. And then, if I was the parents from the get go, I know it's hard, but let her do her thing. Eventually, they come home. If you've done nothing wrong, and there's no reason for them to hate you, just they'll come home. Let them do their thing. And like right now, they apparently they have limited interaction as long as they don't bring up that guy Robert or the church. And with the limited interaction now, if I was a parent, I'd be like, you know what, we're done. We're not going to talk to you no more. And see how she feels. See how she feels about getting cut off just like that. And that's what she did to them.
Turn the
It didn't feel like
tables.
she didn't
Yeah.
care about the sister, and they seemed like they were close. They had like that little dance duo on TikTok and whatever. But yeah, and you're also right. The guy was clearly exploiting them, taking all their money, just because he knows he can't dance. But hey, it doesn't mean I can't make money from it, right? He was taking, man, 60-70% of their income and all these stupid donations for the church. I'm like, how big is this church? Sounds like there's like 12 people. Like what kind
But
of
see, it's like someone said in the documentary, it's for tax purposes, right? The church is always for tax because
Oh, of course. Yeah,
what he's
because
taking
they're
from
not
them
taxed.
is
They're
a church
nonprofit. They're not
donation.
taxed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah, yeah.
he's that's all he's doing.
Like the
Using
tithing,
Jesus.
right? And then there's man of God. What the hell kind of
Yeah, man of
what is
God
that?
fee. I was like,
What is
the
that?
fuck is this? He
Yep.
was just taking the 10% rule and trying to stack it up so he could get as
Exactly.
much money as possible. But
And he
then
was
on
already
the other
taking
hand,
20% for management.
well, but on the other hand, he's taking, yeah, so much from their whole contract for management. So his piece of the pie of each performer is giant because he's their business manager and he's their spiritual advisor who's
Exactly.
multiplying their donations times 3 per quote the law of God. It's not a cult, he's a con man.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
He's like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
else
yeah.
that's using basically religion to get rich off somebody, not pay taxes. That's all.
Yep.
He's a con man. The wife is a con.
Yep.
And the daughter. He's got them all doing what he does.
Yep.
And to the kids, they don't know better because they're living in this nice house. They got their own, but they have to pay rent. What kind of shit is that? That was ridiculous.
And it doesn't fit everybody.
So they have
And
to
it's
pay
2 bedrooms. There's like 8 of them.
So they pay rent, but to them they think they're stars, right? They're all
I
over
know.
TikTok.
It's sad. It's
They
so
got all this
sad.
production going on, and one of them got a
So
car
sad.
commercial. I've never seen this car commercial in my
I
life.
did
till
see
this
it.
damn
I've seen it a couple
documentary.
times. Yeah.
And then it's just, but to them they don't care. Right now they're living the life, right? It's they're living the life. Like if I was the parents of that girl, I can't remember her name. But the life is gonna stop. You
Yeah.
can't dance forever. You can't do stupid
You're not
little
going to be
TikToks
young and hot
forever.
for forever.
Their
Right,
name starts
like the
with
old
an M.
stripper in the club. When's the last time you saw the old stripper in the club? You don't. So eventually she's gonna come home, whether it's in her 40s or 50s or whatever. Let her live her life. But they're being exploited, but they don't see it because they see fame. They see themselves on the internet, see themselves on their phone, their friend's phone, the family's phone, whoever. Yeah, so I don't know, like I said, I don't know who's more toxic, the parents or the girl. But I'm gonna say the parents.
I don't think the parents are toxic one bit. I just think, again, it's like you said, these people are now addicted to fame. They don't want to lose the fame. They want to be important to whatever in some regard. So they're never
So
gonna let
you
that
don't think
go.
what the parents are doing is toxic? You don't think trying to call her every
If you're a
day,
parent,
trying to call a boyfriend every day,
if all
get
of a
the cops
sudden
sent
your
over there,
son
get
said,
the FBI
"Hey,
sent
talking
over
to
there.
you
Come
ever
on.
again," you're gonna be like, "Okay,
I
okay."
think
No,
the
you're
truth-
I
not.
got a
You're gonna be
backup.
like,
I got a backup. Another one on the way.
"Yeah, that's what it is. I'll just
I think
replace
the
you."
truth
a
lies
backup.
somewhere in the
Hey,
middle
woman, get over here. Open
between
them legs. We got to replace the other one.
the two of you, because I get what you're saying, like the logical is thing, like to let her go, but I mean that's impossible from my perspective from a parent. Like I would not be able to do that. However, I would stop fucking harping on the issue. Like if you can just let
Yeah.
it go and just accept whatever relationship she will have with you and show up to whatever, meet and group she finally agreed with, and then they film the whole thing. And
I'd
I
have
was
been out
just
of
like,
there. I'd have been.
yeah, what are you doing? Why are you feeding this? Like, just relate to her as a human
But
being
they
and let all
couldn't
this shit
because
go.
she was even doing the same thing. She was doing it just to show on social media. Look
I
at
know,
me. I
but I
get along
think
with my
they did it
parents.
first. Like, they were like recording videos of themselves, like going up
It's
to the
because it's all
door or
Netflix
whatever.
crap. They probably already
Yeah,
had a Netflix
it's
fucking
just,
contract.
yeah. I agree. I think the parents are probably a little bit unhinged. The daughter is definitely unhinged,
She
and they're
is.
all
Oh,
just
she is.
wrapped up in their own bullshit.
Yeah, no, she's 100%. I mean, first of all, she got married. The parents didn't know, right? They didn't know anything. She just showed up. It's my husband. Like, what the fuck? And then she just basically like, don't ever talk about anything in my personal life. Let me just open my presents and pretend to be happy with you guys so I can put it on social media. And then she goes back into the church and whatever. And like they're locked in the church. Like that part makes sense. Like they weren't allowed to do anything but the production. Everyone you see, the people that even quit the church that they talk to, they're like, yeah, that place is not good for you. I'm good. Like I don't want to go back. Like, I mean, again, I just thought to me it's horrible. I think what those kids got sucked into, the twins especially, because the twin girls were already very popular on social media, like very popular on social media, already making money, already getting paid
You can
advertisers.
always go higher, Lafayette. You can
That's the
climb
thing.
that fame
Uh-huh.
ladder even
Somebody,
higher.
some other dancer on TikTok, and that's how they got sucked into it, told them, you guys are good, but man, we can even be bigger if you joined us. And that's where they got sucked into the Hollywood limelight because they were over there doing this in like Missouri or somewhere away from
Michigan.
Hollywood. Once they got sucked into Hollywood, they're
Yeah.
like, this is the life. And then once they figured out, we don't want your sister around though. Tell her to go back to Missouri. We just
No,
want
she
you.
opted
Michigan.
out. She opted out because they were like,
Well,
they
Yeah,
remember,
she didn't want to join.
no,
it
no,
was
remember the one time she wasn't invited to the second church sermon or whatever it was, and she's like, oh, they don't want me around here. I'm out of here. Fuck this. Like,
well, but
No,
then
no,
they
no,
told
no.
her, he told her she had like an important engagement,
I
and then
know,
he's
I
like,
remember that.
She was
you're
taking her friend
invited.
to the airport, and the
Yeah,
daughter called, said, "You need to have your friend take an Uber,
that's
and
a
you need to come
control
right now to
test.
listen to the Word of God." I'm like,
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
a control
"Fuck your
test. She
word."
failed. She's out, as
Yeah,
she
Yeah,
should be.
come
And
listen
that's
as you
the
should be.
obviously the better sister because she has a brain.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So the other sister, the one that's not in the church, she just got married to a famous football player. So she's fine. She'll be just fine. She'll be just fine.
Yeah. And
Um,
then the Korean women like that were in there like 10 years ago.
they're out of the blue.
Whose house is this? They're in a fucking like multi-million-dollar mansion and she's driving around in a Lexus. I was like, well, clearly you did fine for yourself after you left the church.
Yeah,
I
I
love
don't.
how she
The
blamed her
whole thing
dad
is
for
weird.
everything.
She did
Yeah.
blame her dad
She
for
blamed
everything.
her dad for even when she went to go see him in Korea, and she was yelling at him and said, "Don't touch me. It's your fault." I'm like, how the fuck is it his
Well,
fault?
she kind of did make a point though, that she didn't. The parents basically let the kids do whatever the fuck they want. Didn't even give them attention as kids. So they just, you know what? The church gives us
Welcome to the
attention. We'll go that way.
90s. Welcome to the 90s.
Yeah,
We
that's
all
it.
live
So
that way.
you know what I mean? So like, and that's another thing too, right? Like when we were growing up, and our parents would give us attention, like, thank God. like, like you don't have to watch me. I'm old enough. I'm 12. Like, oh, okay. Fuck it. But
The
apparently,
attention I needed from my parents in the 80s and 90s was, "Hey, listen to me when I
McDonald's.
have a problem."
Oh, that doesn't make that.
But other than that, I'm outside till the lights come out. I knew I had to come in because the lights were on. You know, I did my man. I would leave in the morning and not come back till the afternoon, till late at night. My parents didn't even worry about it. So I mean, if that happened with these parents, holy shit, they'd be every phone call. I'm sure they'd knock on, they'd canvass the whole neighborhood, every neighborhood all around me, looking for me.
Different
It's ridiculous.
strokes,
These parents are
different
horrible.
folks.
They're
Yeah.
horrible parents.
I don't know. I don't think they're horrible. I just
They're
think
kids.
They're horrible
These
parents.
fucking kids are dumb.
they're just, they thought, yeah, you guys go to Hollywood. You guys will be fine on your own. Just let us know. We'll come visit. And then when they got sucked into a church cult, and that's that. A dance cult? What's going on right now?
I know.
That guy's a
So-
genius, though. I'm telling you, he
He
exploited.
truly-
He
he's
exploits
like an evil
everybody.
genius, truly.
Even from the '90s when he produced his own movies, he exploits everybody. So well,
And then convinces this poor Korean woman that you need to jack me off to get God's savior. How dumb are you?
well,
I
at least she's
don't get
safe.
it. I don't get
Holy
it.
water.
What
Mhm.
happened to you people?
People are stupid and gullible, and men rule the world. It's a man's world, as
Apparently.
James Brown once said.
Apparently.
Why do you think the WNBA still
Just like,
sucks?
didn't you have any good role models? I mean, I don't even mean like in-person role models. Like, didn't you ever
Like
watch a
Mariah
movie
Carey?
and
Yeah.
like, that's a badass bitch. I want to be that badass bitch because that's how I grew up.
I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy made these movies. I don't think so. So can't go that route. Wait. Growing up, name me 2 badass bitches growing up. You're like, yeah.
I got my 3 badass
Oh
bitches.
shit, here we go.
My OG badass bitches.
Give it to me.
Number 1, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was like, yep, I saw her on TV. I want to be her. I want to be
Okay.
her. She kicks the shit out of everybody. She doesn't take shit from anybody. I want to
Number
be
2.
her. Number 2, Catwoman. Crazy.
Which
hot
one?
as fuck. Michelle
Which one?
Pfeiffer.
Michelle, of course. Of course.
Crazy and will kick the shit out of anybody. I am a woman and not to be taken for granted.
Okay,
Like
number
that.
3.
Number 3, Miss Piggy. Hi.
Wow.
Ain't taking shit
What?
from nobody.
That was number 3. So
Yeah.
it wasn't
A Muppet.
it wasn't
Yeah.
like Laura Croft.
She's a
or...
badass bitch. Laura
the
Croft's a little
Bride?
bit later when I was in life. Again,
Okay,
the
how-
Bride a little bit later in life.
Tina Turner in the Thunderdome.
Never saw it.
Okay.
I got a bunch if you want to go through them all. I mean, I've got a lot more.
Like you have to give me at least 2 more.
Veronica Mars. This was when I was older, but
And I
again,
got CW shows. I see what's going on here.
God,
Next.
I just fucking loved her. She just wouldn't take
My
again,
mistake.
would not
These
take
were
shit from
UPN
anybody.
shows at the time, right? Or CW? I didn't know.
Buffy definitely
No,
went
my
UPN.
mistake.
I don't remember about Veronica Mars.
Okay. Yeah.
A movie that I watched just yesterday.
Oh.
Turned it on from the late 80s. I was like,
Tank Girl.
God, this is the best fucking movie. No, She-Devil. Roseanne Barr.
Oh wow, I remember that movie.
That movie is
Yes.
fantastic. That might be the most perfect movie ever made. I haven't seen it in a long time, but like the commentary on it is like, yeah, you fat, yeah, you ugly, it don't matter. You are a person and you have value in
Lizzo.
this world. Yeah, you are a person and you have value in this world. You don't have to be sexy. You just have to demand the respect that you deserve. Fucking love her.
Movie does not sound perfect. Sounds like it's
Who, Roseanne
completely
or the
false
character?
narrative.
The character, not Roseanne Barr.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. There's your role models, kids. Roseanne Barr.
Take it from Laura. Required watching for my little girls when they get like 10 or 11. When I was the age when I saw that, you're gonna watch She-Devil. You're like, listen, learn. This is what happens when a man fucking tries to kick you down. This is what you do.
Now, is this one of those documentaries where we talked so bad about it, but it sounds more interesting now?
No,
No, it's
Okay.
skip
well,
it and watch She-Devil.
Oh, wow. 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 I haven't seen it in a long time, too. Wow. All right. Anything else before we go?
No, girl power.
Oh, Carlos saw another movie. Carlos, what was the movie you saw again?
Back to Black.
Back to Black, the story of Amy Winehouse. What'd you think about that?
I don't know why I watched it. I was never an Amy Winehouse fan. I only knew one song, Rehab.
Mhm.
And not until last year, I have the song actually on my playlist, Valerie.
Oh, great
Valerie,
It's
song.
not even
that's my
it's not even
favorite one.
hers. It's a cover song.
And
It
it's
is.
really good.
But
Yeah.
it's so good, though.
It is good. But I don't know I mean, she's good in it, but I think Mark Ronson also produced the shit out
He
of it.
did. He produced that song. Yeah.
But you don't really, I mean, I didn't realize she was that popular. She must have been more popular overseas, even though she won 5 Grammys. You don't really get anything out of it. There's no real substance to the story. It's more or less just this girl is troubled. She's an addict. She blames everything. And then in the movie, you get the idea that all her problems are not her fault. Everyone else's fault but hers.
Well, that's what an addict does.
But you don't see enough of the surrounding problems to agree with it. Even her husband, Blake, the paparazzi's bothering her about Blake after they broke up the first time. Like, yeah, but they've been separated for so long, but you're still bringing them up. It just didn't make any sense. And then at the end, they kind of made it seem like it's the paparazzi's fault she died because somebody brought up Blake and his new wife and how they're having a child. And all of a sudden, she like pauses as she's walking back into the house. And that day, she died of alcohol poisoning. So it's like, oh, it's the paparazzi's fault that you did this. Cool. Not the fact that you're an addict and you have no control. And you thought there was only one fish in the pond. Blake was your only fish in the pond. And all the other songs in the movie I was listening to, they're all based on Heartache. Back to Black was when Blake first broke up with her, and they're all just all heartache. And then it's like she wouldn't sing unless she had experience, and it just life experiences to write about. But I don't know. It kind of time filler. I was just watching it because it was there, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
And what's your rating on the movie?
Two.
A 2 out of 5. Wow, 2 out of 5. I saw it. It was okay. I know her music. I already knew all her problems. I already knew about the Blake and all that stuff. So I wasn't.
I thought she died of a heroin overdose.
No, she was an
No,
alcoholic.
alcohol
And she died of
poisoning.
alcohol poisoning. Yeah.
That's what I know.
Yeah. She didn't start doing drugs till she started dating this guy Blake. But before that,
Mm.
she was basically an alcoholic and like big time.
I do know
But
a
even
lot
that-
of Back to Black. I
But
know
even that didn't make sense, or in the movie didn't show as to why she was such a heavy drinker. Nobody in her family was a heavy drinker. Nobody she hung around with was a heavy drinker. So I don't know where she got it from.
I got it from kind of like that whole adolescent, single child, like, this is, what do you call it? She wasn't really a problem child growing up though.
No,
So I
she
don't know.
didn't. She didn't come from a troubled household.
That's what I
either.
mean. Who
For as
knows?
much
All I
as it
know,
seemed like it.
she didn't want to go to rehab. No, but she did. So, and then it didn't help.
I mean, it kind of showed that her dad was an enabler.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was. He was trying to help, but he was also an enabler at the same time. He's trying to
Oh,
help her
for
out.
sure.
Anyway, yeah, it's okay. I thought the performances were really good. I thought she was really good in it. The main actress, she was fantastic.
Is she in the music video, Valerie?
No,
Because Amy Winehouse is not in that music video. It's 4 or 5 different girls playing Amy as they come up on stage. They all sing a different verse.
I don't think it's her. But here's what you may not know: that actress sang all the songs in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it
Part
was,
of
it
them?
was very interesting. Yeah. So, and she sounded just like her. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Anyway, if you're a fan of Amy Winehouse, I recommend it. If you're not, skip it. That's you're not missing much. So it's another biopic, and Carlos hates biopics because anybody can play somebody else. So
That's right.
that's right. Nepo.
That's right.
Nep. How does that work?
No, nice try. You're an idiot. Move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ozempic. That's what's doing it to me. I injected it
You
into my
want it
brain.
too?
I put it in my cranium so my brain can get smaller. So I don't want to take all the spotlight from you guys and my smarts. So that's all we got, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the Podcast. Anything else, Carlos?
Nope.
Laura?
Nope.
That's all right. For Laura.
Goodbye.
For Carlos.
Bye bye.
And I'm Lafayette. Catch you next week on Nerds Talking the Podcast.
Hi, Laura here, telling you that you should check out Impolite Society this week on all of your podcast forums and also on YouTube because we are starting video podcasting on Monday. Our most recent episode, our newest video episode, is in regards to pedophiles. What really happens to pedophiles in prison? Look us up, Impolite Society, wherever you get your podcasts or YouTube.